Yeah. Do you guys want to ask any questions from homeworks or anything before we get started? Yeah, you name it, we can do it. 28? That sounds like a pretty good one. Let's do that one. All right. So it says, consider the data set below. Is the data best modeled by an exponential, logistic, or quadratic? Oh, this is the broken problem. That's fine. So it's all in the calculator. It says use the R squared value to justify your answer. So what we'll do is we'll do an exponential regression, a logistic regression, and a quadratic regression, and see which one has the R squared value closest to 1. And then that would be our winner. But this problem's broken. I'll show you why here in a second. So I'm going to just go and start by entering in the data. How do I get to the data table to enter stuff in? Stat, and then what? Edit. Very good. So I'll just type my x's in to L1, say, and just do. Okay, so there's that. I'll exit out of here now. Now, if I wanted to look at the scatter plot, that's one way I could kind of get an idea of what's going on. Now, it's not the best way, but if I hit second and stat plot, that opens up the plot menus. I can pick one of these 3 plots. Let's just pick plot 1. I'll make sure it's turned on so that the on is highlighted. I'm using type 1. I type my data into L1 and L2, and I like using the squares, so that looks all set for me. So I'll just exit out of there. To look at this graph, I'll do zoom and then stat. Oops, and I got this extra little guy here. That's because I had something in the y equals apparently. Let me get rid of that. So if I look at this data, it looks pretty, that looks quadratic to me, right? If you took a look at the data points, I'd expect that to be the winner. But let's see numerically by looking at the R squared value. So I'll just exit out of here. Now to do the regressions, the exponential regression, logistic regression, or quadratic regression, we press stat, but this time instead of going to the edit tab, we're moving over to the calc tab. And I'm going to scroll down till I see exp reg for exponential reg. But something bad's going to happen here. So x is in L1, y is in L2. It doesn't ask me to do anything with the equation, so I'm not going to bother to store anything. So I'm just going to hit calculate. And oh no, I got an error. So it's broken because the data points we've given don't work for exponential. That's fine. So there's nothing we can do with that. Obviously, that's a bad fit. Okay, well, all right. I'll just do the quit then for that. So maybe we'll go in and try the logistics. So same thing, stat over to calc. I'll go down till I find the logistic. And then I'll go, okay, same deal, hit calculate, and oh man, it happened again. Same story, the data points are inappropriate. You can't have like exponentials or logistics giving you negative values. What a bummer. So those two obviously aren't gonna be it. It's a broken problem. But if I do a quadratic, that one will work. Hit calculate. And there's my R squared value, and boy, that's pretty doggone good, as we probably expected from looking at the scatter plot, because it looked like a parabola. Ava, does that do anything for you? Yeah? You don't act like it did much for you. Yeah, you look really scared. Like, oh crap, he's talking to me.
This is really bad.
So if I wanted to find the intersection here, so let's say that I went ahead and made, so I stored the equation, and let's say that I want to find the x value when y is like 1.5 or something. So there's my graph, there's my line of fit. There's 1.5. Here's an intersection here. Notice though that there would be a second one possibly over here. Everybody's okay? So if I do second and trace, I'll pick the intersect command. So there's only two curves graphing right now. There's the parabola and then the straight line. So down here it says first curve. I'll just press enter because it was on the parabola. Here it's on the straight line. It says second curve, so I'll just hit enter. Now it has a guess. Because there are potentially two intersections, I do kind of need to be a little bit careful and put that guess somewhere close to the intersection I'm looking for, because it possibly could find the other one. And I don't want that. I want this one here. So if I do that, I get 0.4475, yada, yada, yada. Does that feel okay? What else, guys? Yeah, these calculator problems are exactly the kind of thing that you'd be having to do on here. Okay. 18, sure, let's see. Problem 18. Oh, that's not really a homework quiz question, but Willie can do it.
Can you know what that is a homework quiz question?
It's not. Maybe we should move this all back a bit.
So if we do, let's do 13.
I thought you were going to say let's do Thursday.
That sounds like a good one. So it says below is a table that lists the height of a ball dropped from a 450-foot building and the length of time since it has been dropped. Use the data to create a quadratic regression model and use it to predict the height of the ball after 5 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to start by just entering my data into my calculator. So I press the stat button. From the edit tab, I select the edit command. And I'm going to enter this new data into my table. So to clear out my old data, I move my cursor up so it's on the title like L1 or L2 or whatever. I press the clear button and then the down arrow. Don't press delete. And then I'll just start entering my stuff in here. And then I'll go and clear out this other old data and enter in my other ones. Okay. So now that I have the data all in here, I'm going to go ahead and do the first step to create my exponential model. So I'm going to exit out of the lists by pressing second in the mode button. Then I'm going to press the stat button. And to do the quadratic regression, which is what it asked for, I'm going to go press the stat button. I'm going to go over to the calc tab. I'm going to scroll down, and there I see quadreg right there, number 5. So I'll do that one. I put my x's in L1 and my y's in L2, and because it asks me to do something with the question or the model in the question to make a prediction, I am going to store this equation so I can use it to do that. So I'm going to move down to where it says store reg EQ, and there I'm going to put in y1. To get the y1 there, I'm going to press the vars button. I'm going to go over to the y-vars tab. From the function option, and there's the y's, I'm just going to pick y1. And then I'm going to hit calculate. So with this, I'm going to write down on my paper like y equals 40.52 yada 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 x squared plus negative 141.78 yada 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 x plus 422.1190 yada yada yada. That's my model. Now to predict the height of the ball after 5 seconds, I'm going to do, yes, Emmy?
What mode should I?
It doesn't matter.
I'm not getting the same.
Okay. Did you do quad reg?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you enter your data so that it matched? You didn't do quad reg. That's why I did not the same one. So to make this prediction, then I'm going to do y1 of 5 because I stored this equation into y1. So to get the y1, I'm just going to press the vars button, over to y-vars, function, y1, and I'm going to do like a parenthesis, like it's a function notation, y1 of 5, and it says the height of my ball would be at 726 feet. Does that make a lot of sense? If you're dropping a ball off a 450-foot building, then now all of a sudden 5 seconds later it's 726 feet high? No. That doesn't seem really reliable. What do you think happened? Watch this. If I do zoom stat, so here's my data. Look at what's happened. Oh my goodness, what happened here? I put a bad one in, apparently, huh? Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that guy. That's not right. Good thing we looked at it. That's better. That's supposed to be 433. So let's rerun that quad reg. So that's really what I should have written down. And then let's redo that y1 of 5. There we go. That seems more like it. So 57.7 feet. I was just trying to be funny.
It was funny.
Okay.
I'm so tired.
I know, so tired. All right, what do you guys say? Should we get this show on the road?
Oh,
Where do they go? Here.
Alright, Reggie Q. Reggie, can you give me a ride? Quad rag, Reggie Q. I got one.
I really don't want to do it. Wait, what? I don't know what. That's why I always like, why are you guys so stressed? Oh, yeah. I'm so not. Like, do your best, but like, it's not gonna make you fail the class.
And it's 10%. It's the quiz.
Well,
Not even worth a lot.
So that's the way I see it. With my 7, I can still do it.
That's right.
I already have a big class. Oh, you what? Oh, man.